Welcome, folks, to Crypto News Global. I'm your host, Nick Toka. Bitcoin bleeding red once again. That's 3 days in a row. Let's continue on with the show. Crypto market sees a record flash crashes. That's what we're talking about. What's going on exactly? Also, U.S. lawmakers delay timeline for crypto legislation. Maybe this is what's happening. Also on today's show, Bitcoin price falls to 83,400. Should traders expect a swift recovery? All this and so much more in today's show. Welcome, folks, to Crypto News Global. I'm your host, Nick Toka. Today is February 26, 2025, and Bitcoin down for a third day. I'm going to give you some reasons as to why she's down and some analysts' recommendations on where to go from here. Let's get right into our Market Watch and Bitcoin technical analysis for the day. Bitcoin down about 5% again. Currently at $84,861. Ethereum down 6%, $2,343. Solana down 5%, $136. Sui down about 5%, $2.88. Doge down 3.5%, $3.65. Getting into crypto bubbles, where we can see Pi is making some big gains for today. Got about a 50-50 split red and green right now. IP up 20%. OP up 10%. TIA up 7%. APT up 6.9%. Most things, let's call it about a 60-40 split in retrospect. 60 in the red. For the week, we've got about the same. Well, more like a 90-10. Most things in the red for the week. Pi up 60%, IP up 134%, Maker up 44%. Zooming out to the monthly, we've got, again, about 90% in the red. Maker up 40%. Sonic 45%. Ultima 39%. Ohm up 60%, but everything else in the red. We're talking Trump coin 55%, virtual 45%, Sand 40%, Ray 65%, Algorand 37%, Bonk 50%. Some big losses on the week for sure. Crypto market cap, we see that Bitcoin has lost a lot of ground, about $300 billion over the past 3 days. Currently, the market cap is at 1.68 trillion dollars, 1.68 trillion. Ethereum down to 281 billion. XRP was flipped by Tether now, currently at 126 billion dollars. Solana 68 billion. Doge 30 billion. Cardano 23 billion. Tron 19.5 billion dollars. The total crypto market cap is 2.77 trillion, with Bitcoin holding the majority at 60.69%, Ethereum 10.18%, XRP 4.6%, and BNB coin 3.14%. And I haven't seen this number ever. Currently in extreme fear at a 10. Yesterday it was a 21 in fear. Last week a 49 in fear. And if there's any light at the end of the tunnel, generally when you see this number in a very low or extreme fear, we generally see a pump following that. There are currently 164,518 blocks left to have until the next halving in 2028. And until the year 2140, we've got 1,170,369 coins left to mine. market cap by company, we've got gold down a little at 19.6 trillion, Apple at 3.6 trillion, Nvidia 3.2 trillion, Microsoft 2.9 trillion, Amazon in the number 5 position 2.27 trillion, Google 2.1 trillion, silver 1.8 trillion, Saudi Aramco 1.75 trillion. Facebook has now flipped Bitcoin with a higher market cap, 1.7 trillion, Bitcoin at 1.668 trillion. And you can currently get 1,180 Satoshis for 1 fiat US dollar. And we've got about 5 billion added to the U.S. national debt since yesterday, currently at 36 trillion, 530 billion, 760 million, which equals to 107,318 per U.S. citizen and 323,047 per U.S. taxpayer. So, big downturn in the market over the past week. There's been a bunch of different reasons. We're seeing some flash crashes, and let's see what's actually going on here. Crypto market sees record crashes, flash crashes. What's going on? The crypto market has experienced an unprecedented surge in volatility, with established coins like Bitcoin and Ethereum facing extreme price swings. Since January, the frequency of flash crashes has risen sharply, erasing billions from the market. A crypto analyst has suggested that these flash crashes have been driven by several factors, providing a detailed insight into what's actually going on in the market. Why flash crashes are occurring in the crypto market. A crypto analyst known as the BTC letter has shed light on the recent market crash and why the top coins are falling drastically. The analyst revealed that the increasing number of flash crashes has resulted over 300 billion being removed from the market in just 24 hours. He disclosed that on the previous day, the market began selling off, with Bitcoin dropping below the 95,000 mark between 1:45 a.m. and 2:15 a.m. The cryptocurrency had one of the most shocking crashes, falling by 5,000 in mere minutes. Ethereum, the second largest crypto after Bitcoin, had it even worse. The altcoin experienced massive liquidations that contributed to a 37% price crash on February 2nd, fueled by trade war headlines. Yeah, and we're back into trade war headlines. The BTC letter has revealed that the key factor behind these dramatic flash crashes is the growing divide between institutional and retail investors. Wall Street hedge funds have increased their short positions on Ethereum by 500% since November 2024, marking a historic level of institutional bearishness toward Ethereum. Short positioning in Ethereum has also increased by over 40% in just a week. Moreover, Ethereum's price is down by approximately 40% since the December 2024 timeline, while Bitcoin has fallen by 15%. On the other hand, institutions have continued to accumulate Bitcoin, while retail investors have poured capital into smaller altcoins like Solana, creating extreme volatility in these assets. This polarization, as the analyst calls it, has led to the formation of air pockets in liquidity. As a result, when a sell-off starts, it triggers cascading liquidations, amplifying market instability and price crashes. The analyst also has pinpointed that this polarization phenomenon works in the opposite direction, as the market can experience a rapid recovery, leading to billions added to its market cap within hours. Shifts in sentiment and political influence contribute to market crash. The BTC letter revealed that the Fear and Greed Index has fallen from a bullish stance just weeks ago to 29%. Extreme fear. And as we saw today, what did we see it at? I think we saw it at a 10. Underscoring the speed at which the market's sentiment is changing to the negative. The analyst suggests that the extreme positioning in the crypto market is leading to these increasing flash crashes, making crypto significantly unpredictable. Adding to the turbulence, the analyst revealed that political and corporate influences have been dictating the crypto market. He underscored that Eric Trump had publicly supported buying Bitcoin and Ethereum during dips, aligning with events like Ethereum's February 3rd recovery and Bitcoin's rebound on February 25th. While the market experiences flash crashes and instability, MicroStrategy continues to accumulate Bitcoin. The analyst revealed that the company had also contributed to the polarization of Bitcoin due to its unending accumulation trend. While the company buys more Bitcoin, Strategy stock continues to fall, marking a 45% decline from their high on November 20th. And there we've got a image of the crypto market on a whole from tradingview.com, and we see a big upswing followed by the double peak that we talked about yesterday, which could lead us down to, well, it looks like it could lead us down to about where we're at right now. So there we have it. People have been putting money into Solana. Strangely enough, people have been, there's been a shift in political influence. People have also, as we read, retail investors are going towards Solana, and institutional investors are still into Bitcoin. Things certainly could be worse. Things could be a lot better. We have some other people that are talking about, just like this article, that we can be looking for, or should we be looking for, a swift recovery. So Bitcoin falls to 83,500. Should Bitcoin traders expect a swift recovery? Economic uncertainty, Nvidia's upcoming earnings, and a large BTC options expiry are negatively pressuring Bitcoin price. Bitcoin fell to 83,500 February 26 today, marking its lowest price since November 2024. This 12,500 drop over 3 days wiped out over $1 billion in leveraged long positions based on CoinGlass data. The analysts point to growing fears of a global economic recession as the main driver of the bearish mood. However, pressure from the derivatives market and weaker corporate earnings is also keeping Bitcoin below 90K. The sell-off aligns with news of President Trump pushing for tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico. This is what happened exactly a month ago. This has driven investors toward long-term U.S. Treasury for safety. Even gold, often seen as a trusted store of value during uncertain times, dropped 2.5% in 2 days. It fell from an all-time high of $2,950 on February 24th, reflecting broader market unease. So here we've got the gold to U.S. and Bitcoin to U.S. value. Bitcoin is in blue, gold is in green. So a pretty similar chart if you overlay them. We've got gold in the green, but also, dipping quite a bit. It seems to have rebounded a little bit here. But, both things are taking a dip right now, and people are into treasuries, so they're trusting fiat money more than they're trusting Bitcoin and gold, which is a bit of a shame and probably not a good look for anyone to be doing that. Unlike well-rounded big tech firm, Bitcoin offers no dividends or clear way to benefit during an economic downturn, such as acquiring smaller competitors at lower prices. As a result, the S&P 500 serves more as a hedge than a high-risk investment. Analysts like John Butter's Fact Set projects a strong 16.9% year-over-year earnings growth for the fourth quarter. Meanwhile, critics argue that strategy single-handedly pushed Bitcoin's price to 100,000 However, there's no certainty that the company can keep raising funds. Strategy shares have dropped 19.5% in 7 days, signaling investor skepticism about its plan to secure a $42 billion capital increase over 3 years. This raises doubts about Bitcoin's ability to hold its value without such backing. You know what? We don't need Michael Saylor. But what would be nice is some nation-state adoption, public nation-state adoption, not them buying it under the radar and never announcing that they buy it. For Bitcoin to climb back to 95K, traders are looking for positive economic signals. Artificial intelligence giant NVIDIA will release its quarterly earnings after the market close on February 26th, so today. I didn't actually look to see what happened there. Many traders fear that the company might struggle due to global tariff conflicts and U.S. export restrictions on processing chips to China. Concerns about AI bubbles are also reducing investor appetite for risk, as shown by a 5-year U.S. Treasury yields dropping to their lowest since December 2025. Let's see what happened with NVIDIA's report. So I'll read that in a second. High demand for fixed income assets combined with a sharp rise in gold prices often points to market fear. This is troubling for Bitcoin, especially after outflows from the spot Bitcoin ETF exceeded 1.1 billion on February 24th alone. According to Farside Investors data, the wave of panic selling has damaged trust as investors expected big institutions to handle Bitcoin's volatility and view it as a buffer against potential economic downturns. So everybody got spooked, and this is effectively what you get. And the whales, as we talked about yesterday, this has been their opportunity to hop in while everybody else is selling, they're buying. The upcoming 6.9 billion Bitcoin monthly options expire on February 28th is pushing traders to expect a lower price. Bulls were caught off guard, even though sell option open interest in 530 million below call buy options. For example, out of the 3.7 billion in call options, less than 60 million are set at 88,000 or below. Right, so there's a whole bunch of people that are going to get wrecked if this number stays below 88,000 on February 28th when the contracts expire. This gives bears a clear reason to pin Bitcoin price under 88,000 before the expiry at 8 a.m. UTC time. With call options likely to underperform and market risk concerns growing, bulls lack the firepower to turn things around. Pushing Bitcoin back to 95,000 after the options mature seems out of reach, as the most likely outcome is not favorable for the bulls and confidence remains limited. Yeah, so let's talk about NVIDIA. They released their fourth quarter financial reports here, and it said February 26th, after the market closed, the company reported a record quarterly revenue of $39.3 billion, a 78% increase from the same period last year and a 12% rise from the previous quarter. GAAP earnings per diluted share were 89 cents, reflecting an 82% year-over-year increase. For the full fiscal year, revenue reached $130 billion, up 114% from the prior year. So these are great numbers. The data center segment was a significant contributor with quarterly revenue of $35.6 billion, marking a 93% increase from a year ago. This growth is largely attributed to strong demand for NVIDIA's Blackwell AI supercomputers. CEO Jensen Huang highlighted the impact of advanced AI technologies, stating, "And demand for Blackwell is amazing as reasoning AI odds, another scaling law, increasing compute for training and makes models smarter, and increasing compute for long thinking makes the answer smarter. Despite these improved results, NVIDIA stock experienced volatility in after-hours trading as investors weighed the company's performance and future outlook. So, excellent numbers from NVIDIA. Let's go back to our market cap by company, and we see for the day it actually dropped. And they're saying after-hour market was perhaps even worse. So let's check that again here. We've got NVIDIA here. Yeah. Up 3.5% for the day in terms of market cap. But if you look at the chart, didn't really do much. Excellent numbers. You would expect a bit more considering, DeepSeek's model when it was announced maybe a month and a half ago, but maybe a month ago, they lost almost a third of their total market cap in a day. So kind of interesting there. Now, another thing that is contributing to Bitcoin's kind of drawdown is the U.S. government. So when Trump was elected, all the crypto enthusiasts were thinking things were going to get immediately better with crypto and crypto regulation and crypto adoption. Instead of saying, hey, we're going to be adopting Bitcoin as of today, right? They instead said we're going to be doing a 180-day investigation on whether or not the U.S. government should be adopting Bitcoin as a treasury reserve. Then there were over 20 U.S. states that also put in their statewide bill to create a Bitcoin strategic reserve state by state. So far, 3 of them have been rejected. So that, I think, has something to do with things. And then on the Fed's side, they're basically delaying. So today they had their first lawmakers meeting, and instead of them saying, yes, Bitcoin, you're in, they basically said, you know what? It's not a priority anymore. So U.S. lawmakers delay a timeline for crypto legislation. They didn't say it's not a priority anymore. They said it's not the number one priority. And if you think about things like, global wars, you've got Ukraine, Russia, you've got Israel, Hamas, you would think that these things take precedence. So I'm not surprised that, the lawmakers are taking this slow. Just like any organization, they're not going to jump into things immediately. They're going to first do their investigation, they're going to do their planning, and then if things make sense, then they're going to say go. So during a Wednesday meeting, lawmakers and industry experts expressed less urgency to speed run new crypto reforms. Lawmakers are pushing back their timeline for passing digital asset market structure legislation in the latest sign. Policymakers are struggling to honor their pro-crypto election promises, right? Like what we were saying. During the U.S. Senate Banking Subcommittee on Digital Assets inaugural meeting on Wednesday, so this was their first meeting today, Senator Cynthia Lummis said a bipartisan group of pro-crypto legislators aiming to pass a comprehensive framework targeting the industry by the end of this year. That's several months later than Republican policymakers previously announced timeline for advancing critical crypto market structure reforms through Congress. So by the end of the year is not as speedy as right away. I believe they said the first 100 days is when they're going to do this legislation. So that's several months later than Republican policymakers previously announced timelines for advancing crypto market structure reforms through Congress. Many members of the Senate are still trying to wrap their heads around what is a Bitcoin, what is a digital asset, what is a stablecoin. Loomis said at the meeting, "I hope we can get legislation to President Trump for his signature this year." So you've got a bunch of 80-year-olds basically scratching their heads saying, what is this thing anyway? What is a Bitcoin, they're asking. So you can see how things start to slow down when this kind of situation arises. Newly appointed crypto czar David Sachs vowed earlier this month to push Congress to enshrine digital assets, market structure reforms, and other pro-crypto initiatives into law within the first 100 days of President Trump's second administration. But during Wednesday's meeting, lawmakers and industry experts expressed less urgency to speed run such efforts. Instead, attendees spent much of the meeting discussing existing security regulations and stablecoin bills, such as the Gilding and Establishing National Innovation for U.S. Stablecoins of 2025 Act introduced earlier this month. Their distancing from Sachs' 100-day timeline comes amid politicians' broader retreat from their pro-crypto election cycle promises. Efforts to establish a Bitcoin stockpile in the U.S. Treasury, a focal point of President's pro-crypto campaign platform, are still in their infancy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then you have a whole bunch of 80-year-olds saying, oh, I don't even know what a Bitcoin is. The proposal also appears to have lost steam among policymakers on Capitol Hill, with attendees at Wednesday's Senate Banking Subcommittee meeting hardly broaching the subject of a U.S. strategic Bitcoin reserve. Meanwhile, 3 bills aimed to create Bitcoin reserves at state level have failed this year. Yeah, we mentioned that a few minutes ago. To be sure, the Trump administration and its allies have made good on some of their pro-election promises to the crypto community already. The Trump pardoned, not the Trump, I guess he is the Trump, but Trump pardoned Silk Road creator Ross Ulbricht from prison during his first few days in office, and he appointed pro-crypto regulator Paul Atkins to lead the Securities Exchange Commission ahead of his inauguration in January. Investors' sentiments toward crypto reached a fever pitch in the lead-up to the President Trump's return to the White House, capitulating Bitcoin and other tokens to all-time highs. However, these prices have since fallen. Bitcoin down 12.5% on the week to 84,000, while blue chip tokens such as Solana and Ethereum have also posted double-digit losses over the same period, CoinGecko data shows. Yeah, so all these factors are bringing down the biddy. I've been buying the dip, and I'm going to continue buying the dip. I mean, with the crypto fear and greed index down to 10, 10 in extreme fear, that to me is a fair indicator that things are going to turn around. We've already seen Bitcoin, it's at 85,000. Let's not forget, folks, that it's been sitting at about 95 or 97,000 for a very long time. I believe about 3 months. It spiked a bit the couple days leading up to Trump's inauguration and the day of, but ultimately it's been sitting at that 95,000 for a very, very long time. 3 months going sideways is a substantial amount of time when it comes to the biddy. So, at 85K, can we be unhappy with $85,000 Bitcoin right now? I don't think we can. Of course, everybody wants to see it go up and up and up, but forever, every single day. But, when you look at charts, nothing goes up every single day. No stock goes up every single day. it goes up in spurts, and the same way we see that it goes down, 10-15% in a week, we have seen it also go up quite a bit in days. So, I'm taking it with a grain of salt. If we kind of just zoom out and look at, if we look at the crypto bubbles and we go to the yearly outlook, there's a lot of green on here. There's a lot. Look, Doge up 100%. XRP 275%. Pepe, which is down now, but up 218. BNB coin up 55%. Generally, Litecoin 67%, Bitcoin 50%. So on the year, if you said, oh, Bitcoin's going to go up 50% this year, you'd probably be okay with it if you're a Bitcoin holder. So on a whole, it's a bit of a downturn moment for multiple factors, but I feel like things are going to turn around. And a lot of the whales and the smart money are using this opportunity to buy the dip. And even though the article talked about Michael Saylor running out of money to buy more Bitcoin, I can pretty much assure you that this Monday at these prices, he's going to be buying more Bitcoin if he hasn't already. So, have some confidence here. Hopefully we don't see much more of a dip from this time. And as the smart money does, when everything crashes, they're buying because they're buying it on sale. When everybody else is running, they're running into the fire. Everybody else is running out of the fire. And also remember, everyone, that money is abundant and money is everywhere. It's time that's scarce. So spend your time wisely. Spend less money than what you earn so you can always stay in the green. If you suddenly start making more money, start saving more money, not spending more money, and start saving today. Start saving in your teens. Start saving when you're 20, and you can ideally retire when you're 40 or 45. If you've got a great idea, please start that idea today as well. Don't wait for tomorrow. Even if you're not ready, start your good idea and things will come together. I'm on a bit of a mission to get to 500 subscribers this year, and it's going to definitely happen. It'd be great if you came along for the ride. Feel free to please hit the subscribe button. And if you found it enjoyable, please share, like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you on the next stream, folks. Thanks for joining.